Okay, in this video, I'd like to talk to you about why do employers prefer or seek out new employees who have business degrees. Okay, well, to start with, in prior videos, we've discussed the difference between education and training, and we've talked about the idea that business schools combine the two, that there's a great deal of exposure to higher level thinking, concepts that need to be applied in unique scenarios, that type of thing, with the aspects of training, which are process-driven tasks. This is how you do things, A, B, C, D, to complete a task or function. Okay, so business education combined with training is a combination of that. So that's business learning, right? Now, employers recognize this. Okay, they generally recognize that you could have any student, any non-student, any person of ability to do the job in terms of intellect, physical ability, things like that. And you could teach them to do the job within a short amount of time. Practice, observation of others, that type of thing. You can learn how to do almost any job there is. Okay? But when it comes to thinking outside the box, higher level thought, that is, asking the questions, why are we doing this? Should we be doing this differently? Should we be doing this at all? Should we be doing something else? That type of thing. Those are higher level questions that are at the heart of process improvement, the development of ideas, things like that. So employers understand that, right? So to start with, employers seek business students. First, they look for the credential. They simply put that as a job requirement. So oftentimes it excludes individuals from job opportunities if they don't have that credential. Okay, it's a safeguard, I would say, for employers. They don't want to have the whole world applying for the position, or they want to somehow weed out or sort through the applicants ahead of time, right? And so to do that, they simply put the credential there. Now, they probably understand that there are potentially individuals who do not have a business degree who would be excluded from that group wrongfully, that they would be excellent employees, they would learn how to do it, whatever task or function it is, and they already have that ability to apply higher level concepts to the situation, right? Even if they're business concepts, that the individuals will take it upon themselves to learn what they need to learn in terms of theory and higher order thinking or knowledge in order to apply it to scenarios in that way. And most people have that ability. It is just easier from the start for business students because they've already been exposed to all of these things. Okay, so once again, there's that aspect in the employment process that employers, because of that sorting function, will only see students or will only entertain students who have that credential. So they look for the formal credentials. Next, they know that the student is exposed to this higher level of knowledge, right? They realize that they may not be technically proficient yet, but they can be. Okay, they've at least been exposed not only to the higher level knowledge, but to the process-driven aspects as well. And it is more likely than not, business schools, four-year bachelor's degree business schools in particular, do not focus on proficiency. They just focus on higher level understanding and then exposure. Okay, so there's that exposure, right? Business students, through their program, have the opportunity to demonstrate their talent or skills. They can acquire specific skills in given areas where sometimes other degrees or not attending any form of higher education at all is very difficult to acquire that exposure, to have that exposure to acquire that talent or skills in a general area. Also, the degree in terms of GPA and what courses you take and things like that, shows something about general academic ability, right? General intellect in that field. And oftentimes academic ability does translate well to higher order problem solving in that regard. Okay, they're both mentally challenging in similar ways. Okay, and then in terms of diligence and work ethic, the completion of the degree, the courses you take, your concentrations, any additional activity you may undertake as part of that, and then of course your GPA as an indicator of how hard you worked on something. I've never thought that GPA was an indicator of intelligence in any form, but it does indicate the amount of work effort, the amount of diligence, or the level of diligence that a student has shown in completing their work, in preparing for the test and things like that. Sometimes that's outside of the student's control, but even when students are very taxed in terms of their responsibilities and have an extreme shortage of time, they are still able to go above and beyond and still perform well in classes. That speaks volumes to the student, and in the resume, that is something that should be highlighted when someone is working full-time or taking care of their family at the same time as completing school and still excelling in the classes. Okay? And then lastly, employers tend to hire people based on the concept of fit. And in a separate video, we talk about what is fit in the organization. But generally, people seek to be understood, right? And they want to understand other people. And people who do understand each other, even if there are differences there, they tend to fit well. Okay, because there's always some level of commonalities that can bring people together. Commonalities in terms of beliefs, interests, and values. All right, so those are the types of things you're trying to demonstrate in order to, like I say, establish fit in the organization. Well, having business knowledge, having business acumen, having gone through a business program, having taken similar courses, having read similar case studies, having learned, well, in a similar manner as your employer, as the people you're working beside, as even your subordinates, that type of thing. It allows you to assimilate to the culture and find fit within the organization. So with that being said, for that reason, employers tend to gravitate towards and seek out business majors or business students as new employees rather than simply graduates with other concentrations or people who do not attend or do not receive a university degree at all. Okay, so anyway, that's that will be useful in terms of your decision making as to whether to pursue a business degree, as well as something for you to understand in the career search and career path process.